Quick video on using the gradient feather tool in InDesign. Pretty handy. A lot of times you might not have the ability to write on the bottom of a picture because it's just too dark or there's not enough contrast in there. But you don't want to just have the picture end and then just a white strip start. So this is a way to be able to transition from the picture into white. So let's go ahead and start that over again. I'm going to go up to File, Place, find my photograph. I happen to know that if I place this one, it's running way off the edge of the page because the picture is really this big. Rather than doing all the resizing from there, I'm just going to delete, start over again. And this time when I place the picture, I'm just going to draw a small box so that I can see part of it on the page. I'm going to move it up here. I'm going to hold the Command and Shift button down, grab this corner, and pull out until it fits the entire page. I like this, but I don't like the fact that the lighter side, or the quieter side maybe, is over here. I want to put my text, but I wanted to put it to the right, but I'm concerned that these bushes are just too big. So I could click on this and hit this flip horizontal or the reflect tool. And I know that it flipped the image and it did slide it off the edge of the page, so I have to bring it back on. This is what I wanted to do. Now I come back up in here and I grab this, the gradient feather tool. And if I was to drag it from the top of the page, back and grab it again, from the top of the page to the bottom of the page, it's going to transition completely at the middle point, from full picture to white with everything kind of in between. That's not what I really wanted to do. Instead, what I want to do is probably take the tool and start somewhere about here and just pull down a little bit. And at this point, here's my transition area. It starts here and then it fades out to here. So if I pulled it from just below this dog all the way to the bottom of the page, it's going to look like that. But that's probably not enough area here for me to be able to write. So what I probably really want to do is pull down to only about here and let go. And that's kind of a nicer, softer transition into the white area. Maybe that was too much, so I want it to move about like this. Or if I wanted the band to be really narrow, I just drag a very small amount. But I think probably something more like this is probably what I had in mind. Now, on top of that, I'm going to go ahead and just, for giggles, bring in, I've got a bag somewhere over here off to the side of the page. And I'm going to hit Object, Arrange, bring the front, which is then going to allow me to click on this, and Object, Effect, maybe Drop Shadow. Lighten the opacity of that slightly, plus increase the size so that it's nice and soft and fuzzy, but that it's a little bit lighter. Again, building a link between these two objects right here. If for some reason I wanted to do something else, I could come on over here, and if I wanted to, I'm going to go all the way back and delete. Oops, redo that last step. What if I decided that no matter what I do, I still can't read over here? I could take a rectangle and I could fill it over in this area with paper. And then I can come back up here to where it says Object, Effect, Transparency. With the preview button on, I can change the opacity from there to make it somewhat lighter if I wanted a quiet box to be able to write in. I can also play with the normal mode. A lot of times people they think that they get a little different look by using screen. Some of these other ones will give you something very unusual looking, where it really tweaks the color out. But I'm going to just say screen and maybe somewhere in there. And if you like the idea of that, because it's now not completely white, but it's giving you a place to be able to write, but you think that the edges of the box are too hard, I can come in here and go to Basic Feather. So I've used this to turn on the lightening of the transparency in here, and when I went to Basic Feather, it went ahead and it automatically softened the edge of this. You can adjust how much that softness goes so that it's very, very, very soft, all the way back up to pretty much nothing. And if after you've done that you think, I like it, but it's still maybe not light enough, I can go back to transparency and I can once again pull it back a little bit closer to the white. So I'm just allowing some of the leaves to come through. So a couple different options there between using the basic feather effect or using the gradient feather tool.